I should have known better. I did know better, but I was careless. I didn't think it would happen to me. But I destroyed an expensive camera with one of these dummy battery eliminators for a camera. And it was just carelessness. What had happened was I was shooting video with the camera, which normally consumes batteries very frequently. And so using the battery eliminator, the dummy battery, that's a great tool to allow me to power the camera all day long without worries about having to swap out batteries. So I had the camera set up, being powered by this unit here, and I was doing some video shooting. I get down on the floor to make some adjustments, and I unplug a power cord, which I thought went to a light, and I glance over and realize, whoops, that's not the light, that's the camera. And the camera was running, and I killed power to the camera. Well, as soon as I saw that, I just thought, oops, and I plugged it right back in. And the camera did not turn back on. I thought, I probably just have to power cycle the camera. So I got up and turned the camera off, turned the camera back on, and it didn't turn on. And what had happened was that I had damaged the circuitry inside of the camera. I had destroyed one of the circuit boards inside the camera. And the only way that camera was going to work again is if you completely tear it down, go in there, remove that old circuit board, put a new board in it, and rebuild the camera. And that's some really small-scale, delicate kind of work that I'm just not equipped for. I don't have the parts, I don't have the experience, I don't have the eyesight, and I'm just going to leave that one to the professionals. So I looked into the price of getting that camera repaired, and not surprisingly, it's pretty expensive. And the cost of the repair exceeded the cost of replacing that camera with a different used unit. And it wasn't that far away from the cost of just buying a brand new, better, more modern camera. So that day turned out to be an unanticipated, expensive upgrade. And it was all just because I was simply careless. I think these are great devices, but I think it's important to use them with care and to power them up in the proper sequence so that you're not putting your camera at risk. So let's talk about some of the things to consider when pursuing one of these dummy battery power supplies for your camera. One of the things is to make sure you get the right one. Make sure you choose a unit that's compatible with your specific camera model, because this power supply is powered by the AC power from the wall outlet. It filters that power into pure, clean DC, hopefully, just like the battery, and then it has a plug on the end of it that looks just like a camera battery, which needs to be exactly the proper shape for your camera, of course. You can put this into the battery compartment of your camera, close the door, and provide steady state power all day long. So you need to make sure to get the exact right unit so that it is compatible both in terms of what the battery dimensions are and the voltages. Another thing to keep in mind, obviously, is that in order for this to be a useful tool for you, you need AC power. So it's not going to be very handy if you're outside roaming around with your camera. But if you have the camera in a fixed position, indoors, near a power supply, near a power outlet, this is a great device. These devices can impart buzz and hum into your audio track on your camera. If they don't provide really clean filtered power, just like a battery does, if there's some AC ripple still in the output voltage that this unit is providing, depending upon how well the filtering inside of your camera is, that noise can impart itself into your recordings. So some people have reported that when they use a power adapter like this, their audio tracks on their video have a little bit of buzz or hum. That has not been my experience, so that means that the cameras that I'm using have good power filtering inside of them, and or the dummy battery supply that I got has pretty solid filtering, and it's got nice clean power. So for that reason, I would probably choose one of the slightly more expensive and better dummy battery supplies. I'd probably be a little bit trepidatious about those lowest priced items on Temu or AliExpress. Of course, if you want to minimize the risk of getting a substandard unit, you can always purchase the battery power supply from the manufacturer of your camera, which will probably be the high-priced option, but the safest of the bunch. And most importantly, to minimize the risk of damaging your camera, I recommend powering things up in the following sequence. Now, this really may not be necessary if your camera is extremely tolerant and your dummy battery supply is very well behaved, but I think that this is a good process to follow to minimize the risk. What I'd suggest is that the first thing you do is plug in the dummy battery. Just plug it into the wall and make sure it's powered up. Then take your camera, make sure the camera is turned off, pop open the battery compartment and remove the battery. Then, with the camera still turned off, you insert the dummy battery plug where the camera battery used to be and close the door. And at this point, you can turn the camera back on and it should be powered by the dummy battery, and you can shoot video or do whatever you'd like with your camera. If you want to take a break, that's fine. Just turn the camera off, turn it back on later. You're all good to go. When you're ready to shut down for that session and you want to put everything away, what I'd suggest you do is turn the camera off and make sure it completely shuts down. Then open up the battery door on the bottom of the camera and remove the dummy battery plug, which is still powered, of course, but remove the dummy battery plug. And then once the dummy battery plug is out of the camera and it's disconnected from the camera, you can then unplug or turn off the dummy battery supply. So by following these steps, you never turn on or turn off the dummy battery eliminator power supply while it's attached to your camera. And if you do that, I think that you'll be unlikely to damage any equipment, and you'll get all the benefits from the battery eliminator power supply. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the tip. If you did, please take a quick second and throw me a thumbs up so YouTube knows that you appreciated the video and they should promote it to more people. If you enjoy the video series and the content here, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'd appreciate that. So thanks again for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you on another upcoming video real soon.